So Frank Warren did this interview where he addresses the Fury Joshua situation. He says it's all systems go on his side of things, but on the AJ side of things, he's not so sure. He basically suggested that AJ probably wants the fight, but he's not sure if Dazn actually want the fight. And again, kind of insinuated that they might be trying to throw a spanner in the works. He says he wants an answer by the end of the week. Eddie Hearn actually did an interview where he said there was a couple of things in the contract that they weren't particularly happy with, and they're going to send that back to Queensberry to see if they can get it ironed out. But either way, as it stands right now, it doesn't look that promising for the fight to happen in December. Now, to me, I can understand why Dazn wouldn't want this fight, just from a business perspective. I'm not talking from the perspective of a boxing fan. I'm talking from the perspective of Dazn as a business. They have just signed AJ to this multi-fight deal, costing them multi-millions, and perhaps there are provisions in the contract which are performance related, I don't know. But either way, they signed this big contract with AJ, and he was already coming off a loss going into the contract. Then he fights the Usyk rematch, which wasn't on Dazn, right? And Dazn would have wanted it to be on their platform, but that wasn't on Dazn. And he loses that too. So if he was to go into a fight with Fury in December and lose for a third time in a row, that's not only a disaster for Eddie Hearn, AJ himself, but it's also a disaster for Dazn. It's literally destroying their investment if the guy loses 3 times in a row. Surely they would want to build AJ back up again, to build his commercial value back up again and make some money out of him in, over a longer term based upon, all the money they've invested in him, rather than just throwing him in with Fury right now. So, yeah, I can imagine Dazn are not too thrilled about putting AJ in with Fury in December. And perhaps Frank Warren is right. Perhaps it is them who's trying to throw a spanner in the works and saying, nah, let's not go ahead with this fight, Eddie, or let's not go ahead with this fight, AJ. Maybe they've instructed Eddie to sabotage the negotiation process and start nitpicking the contract and running down the clock and just doing whatever he can do to get out of the fight without making it look obvious. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but perhaps that's what's going on. Again, I'm not an insider. I'm an outsider looking in, trying to interpret the situation, but it appears as though Frank Warren, Team Fury, etc. are full steam ahead about the fight. They're serious, but the other side, maybe not so. And to reiterate what I've said in previous videos, I don't think it's a good idea for AJ to go straight into the Fury fight. Yes, I entertain the possibility. I entertain the argument, as I said in one of my recent videos, that maybe AJ has his back against the wall and the bit between his teeth, and he's always felt he could beat Tyson Fury, and maybe because AJ's coming off 2 losses and this mental breakdown, that Fury thinks he's going to get AJ when he's weak and maybe underestimates him. Yeah, I entertain that possibility, but I still tend to suspect that that probably won't be the case, and instead, it's a mentally vulnerable AJ. And yeah, he might be emotional and angry and determined and all this kind of thing, but I still don't feel like he's in the best mental space, nor the best technical space to be taking on a Tyson Fury right now, coming off back-to-back losses, still not over the humiliation and the mental scars of the Andy Ruiz defeat. I feel like if he's going to give himself the best chance to beat Tyson Fury, he needs to get some wins under his belt, get his confidence back up, and then go in against the Gypsy King. And there's no guarantee that any version of AJ beats Tyson Fury, but I'm just saying, if you want to give yourself the best chance of beating him, I don't think the situation he's in right now is really conducive to that. Again, the back-to-back losses, there's some ambiguity about his training situation and so on. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Frank Warren's interview, where he says he wants an answer by the end of the week. Do you think Eddie Hearn is just running down the clock because his people at Dazn have told him, look, we don't want this fight? Or do you still think it's actually going to go ahead? Let me know in the comments. If you're tired of the biased narratives and mass censorship on mainstream platforms, and you want to be part of a community of critical thinkers who love free speech just as much as you do, then come and join me on Patreon and access my weekly no-holds-barred, censorship-free podcast where we lift the lid on a wide variety of controversial topics. It's not mainstream friendly, it's not politically correct, but that's the whole point. We dare to stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. Just head on over to my Patreon page and select the tier called Hatman Hot Topics. You'll gain access to a minimum of 2 hours of exclusive content every single week, including podcasts, videos, interviews, live stream Q&As, as well as my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. Not to mention a vast back catalog of hundreds of hours of previous episodes. You can listen via the Patreon app with the option to download in high-quality MP3. We've also got an Element group where you can come and chat and hang out with myself and other members. Unlike Discord, it has full end-to-end encryption, it's decentralized, and it's 100% censorship-free. You can also send voice notes as well as much larger audio and video files than you can on Discord. So come and sign up on Patreon. There's no contract, there's no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a cup of coffee. So I'll see you over there. I'm out.